Hi guys, my name is Tanya and today I'm doing something new. And by new, I don't mean completely shiny brand new, but new to this channel, which is something. So those of you that have been around Booktube will know that there's a thing called Top 5 Wednesdays where people come up with a top 5 things within a certain category. So there's been stuff like maps in books, reasons they love Booktube, that sort of thing. And I've not been doing that because I find that I already make quite prescriptive videos. However, my friend Maggie over at Magazine recently started taking part in a different project that's been running for quite a while now and I've just missed the boat on it, called Tuesday Talks. And rather than coming up with a number of things, you're given a topic each week and you can just blog about it, vlog about it, however you create your content. And as actually scripting a video and talking about a topic is something that I really struggle with and is something that I want to learn, I thought this would be a really good project for me to get involved in. I might not manage every week because I am a little bit hopeless, as we all know, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I haven't actually ascertained the names of the people that run Tuesday Talks, but there is a Goodreads group if you would like to get involved, so I will put a link to that in the down bar. So I've actually picked a really good time to start because this week's topic is your reading experience, including things like when did you start reading, and I just have a few things to say about it, so let's get going. So I was never a particularly remarkable child. I started reading when we were told to in school. I struggled with the word and. Apparently no matter how many times my mum read it to me, every time we got to the word and I would get stuck on it, and I ended up passionately hating reading out loud. But I did eventually pick up reading and was allowed to read on my own in my head, which is, you know, a pretty normal way of reading and how I generally like to read now. And at some point I started to pull ahead, which was partially helped by the fact that we had a colour system where you had to read all of the books of a certain colour before you could move on to the next colour. But my mum hated all of the books in one of the colour chunks, so she wrote a letter to the school and I just kind of leapfrogged over that colour. And ultimately that was really good for me because I graduated out of the colour system early and was allowed to read what I wanted, which really helped me to start forming ideas about what I wanted to read as a child. And after that I just always remember reading until I got to secondary school and things got a bit dragged down because things just got really negative. I think the most cheerful thing we studied was Much Ado About Nothing in year 9, but after that we moved on to GCSEs, and over the course of 2 years studying English literature GCSE I made up a body count. People died in every book and it was horrible. And when people weren't dying we were reading poems about losing your cultural identity and potatoes and digging. I really hated my GCSE texts. And I know that I must have kept reading the things that I wanted to during this time because I still loved literature enough to want to take an A-level in it. And the first year of that, which would have been my AS levels, absolutely destroyed me. We had 2 teachers for this. One who was telling us to think independently, and then we'd move to another teacher in the classroom next door and be told that all our ideas were wrong and that we should just listen to what the teacher said and write back out verbatim what she wanted us to say in the exam because we shouldn't be thinking independently. And it was just soul destroying. If a teacher can make you hate Shakespeare's The Tempest, it's bad. I went to see it and it was fantastic and I love it now, but at the time she made me hate it. And it was at some point during those 2 years that one of my friends got me into Twilight, and it was the first time since Harry Potter that I'd really compulsively read something, and there wasn't that much of a gap for me between Harry Potter and Twilight, but it was still the next thing that I really latched onto. And also they had to have a bit of a reshuffle at our school and I got given a different English teacher who was amazing and acted like literature was actually a fun interactive topic rather than something that you just were told and write back. Really helped me and made me care again. So thankfully I ended school on a bit of a high with my English literature. And although I hated the prescriptiveness of being told what to read at school, I do like to have a little bit of direction. So since my gap year and through university I've been trying to read books from the BBC Top 100 Books list, and I've been trying to read as many books off of that as possible to just open up my horizons. I think I've now read 57 of those and I want to make a separate video about it relatively soon because it's something that I'm looking at getting back into more. It has actually really opened up some new authors and interests to me and gotten me to read books that I never thought I would, which has been really good. And I am the sort of person that is a little bit inspired by having this list of books put in front of me that someone said, oh, you're only going to have read 6 of those, and I've gone, nope, I'm going to read all of them. And the latest thing that's really influenced my reading has been Booktube. I do watch a lot of the big booktubers and that has gotten me back into YA in quite a big way, but I'm trying to find more booktubers with different tastes, and I just really enjoying when people are reading things that go against the grain a little bit, as it's always really interesting to hear more about different books. books rather than having the same book kind of thrown in your face again and again and again. So although I love the influence that Booktube has had on me, I do want to try and temper it a little bit, as at the moment the books that it's mainly getting me to read are the popular books that everyone's reading or everyone's read and that I feel like I need to read because I've missed a bandwagon at some point. And some of them are really good, but others just kind of make me think, why on earth did I commit to this? I noticed the other day that I haven't read that many books that are considered classics this year, and it's been quite a big thing for me in the past and I do miss it. So yeah, I don't really know what this video turned into. It was more a brief history of Tania reads. So yeah, are there any people or books that really inspire your reading? I'd love to know, let me know down below. I feel a little bit ashamed that the only book I've really mentioned in here as inspiring me is Twilight, but gotta be honest. I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. I hope Monday didn't get you down too much, and I will see you soon. Goodbye! I drank too much coffee and now I have to have calming tea.